Hey everyone, welcome to my build at the Wilson Brothers Auto Repair Place. I really like this location, not just because it's named, as I've always wanted to see what it would be to live at the garage and build above it. So what I'm going to do is give you a tour, tear it all down, and show you my build process. I cannot camp at each and every location because it's 40 caps a drop, so I try to pick a location that I can blend with the existing building and be challenging at the same time. So with the tower that was out in Grafton and the Raider Tower and under the power pylon with the trailers, those were extremely difficult builds to try to match what's there and just the mechanics of the Fallout build process. So I'll try to walk you through that right now, and let's go have a tour. The first question I've been asked is, yes, the Scorched that spawn here in the garage and outside do take out your turrets. Even though they're levels 1 and 2, they still manage to destroy my turrets completely. So you just have to repair them and pick up all the loot off their bodies, and it's a win-win situation. It's like 1 steel, 1 circuitry, and oil, and a gear. That's not too bad. So the power armor station was existing, so I did not have to build that. And the armor bench was existing. The 2 chairs over there. Oh, wait. There's always loot under the stairs. I never even noticed these before. It's always good for oil and steel. The 2 chairs were existing, and I managed to put a small table in here. I could not put the cook stove sideways. There just wasn't enough room for the character to get to the stove and turn around in the little animation. And the other cool thing I discovered about this place is the calendar on the wall actually has items circled and little notations. The one for October 31st, Halloween, says, "Don't forget candy." And there was a few other ones about buying Mr. Handy fuel and having dinner with the Moyers. Up on the hill there, that's the house that you can include within the boundary of the workshop. But I chose just to extend out the front here more so I would have room to build. Gotta have chairs for visitors. There's a little garage up the hill, but unfortunately it does not open. There's more loot in that abandoned house across the street. And I've managed to put turrets on all corners of the garage to take care of the Scorched. So I just returned like a little while ago, so you get low-level weapons that you can scrap for parts, and I keep a few just for some of the new players that are coming out of the vault. So there's usually level 5s and level 10 shotguns and hunting rifles, and sometimes some armor. I just wish the flies would go away sooner. You'll see in the video how this was the hardest part. How far away from the edge of that wall to place the floor, and higher up. The lip of the red roof that was coming off was causing problems to align these walls. Now somebody had also asked how to do locks on doors. This little room is kind of a imaginary armory. So if I had lockers, foot lockers, storage space, it would be kind of like that. So I'm going to show you up here. As you can tell, I don't spend a lot of time decorating. I'm more interested in the building itself. I also don't have a lot of the Atom Shop items yet. So let me show you how to lock doors. Now, I don't know when this appeared in the build process. I don't know if it's when you get a level 3 perk or not. But when you highlight the door, on the Xbox you push the left trigger, lock, and it gives you choices. in your menu there. You can remove it or set it at levels 0 through level 3. So push left trigger lock, 0, 1, 2, and level 3. So we'll lock it at a level 3. Now, if you're on a team, they can open these doors without unlocking them. But if another player who's not on your team trespasses, all the turrets will turn against them. Okay, so we've had a quick tour, and now it's time to tear it all down. So what you have to do is store everything and dismantle it in reverse build order. Now, I tried blueprinting the build, but usually with the builds that I have, they're virtually impossible to store and replace, only because I bump into so many existing objects. In this one, under the stairs and platform, there are 2 or 3 steel barrels that are always getting in the way. The edge of the roof, the edge of the second story, all kinds of obstacles. So it is almost impossible for me to store like this and replace it down somewhere, because it just matches this location. So I didn't have anything stored because I was using wood and metal, and on this build I had to scrap it all so I had the storage space so I could purchase more concrete to build the brick walls and doors, windows, all of that stuff. So I have absolutely nothing stored except for 2 powered doors. So now I have to go through and store all the items I used for this build. And you have to do it in reverse build order. So I have to start with the roof, then the walls. They won't let you take the walls down and then leave the roof hanging in midair. So just go in and store all the items you want to keep. Everything. Just move the camp over somewhere else so it's out of the way. Come on. Ah, there. Okay, the camp's moved out of the way. It always looks so easy when you dismantle it all and then you think how long it took you to figure out how to build here. So you have to do the door first, then the wall. It won't let you remove the wall and then the door. So it gets a little quirky sometimes. They just don't want us to have, you know, stairs in midair and turrets in midair like we could do in Fallout 4. So I'm down to the last 2 pieces, 3 pieces. So I'm going to try blueprinting just the foundation and the stairs so I can easily move them around. And as you can see, it's never easy. For some reason, the entire system was lagging and it would not store those 2 pieces for at least another minute or 2. I kept looking for it. I did it again. At this point, I'm getting tired of typing in the word stairs. I think I eventually give up and just type base or 1 or 2, something like that. And it's still not showing up. So finally, there, it shows up after like 3 attempts. So now I have the blueprint. I can store these pieces. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Okay, so we go to our blueprint and we look for the foundation and the stairs and we try to place it. And now another one has shown up. Whoa, that's some serious lag. Okay, so placing it is relatively simple, except for those little barrels that are there. And it keeps wanting to show me another one in front. So, obviously I placed it too far to the left. That is going to run into what's up there on the second story. So let's try moving it out to the right a bit and raising it up. So once you've placed it, just store them again, recall the blueprint. Now there's 3 copies. To avoid the barrels. Now slide it out. I am trying to learn how to use the push and hold A button and not have to physically move myself. I am learning it. It can be difficult at times. That looks pretty good. Looks like it's straight and it looks like it's going to clear the building on the top. So let's head up there and drop a floor piece and see how close to the wall we are. Sometimes building for me can just be very, very frustrating. Okay, now we have to make sure that we're high enough. So go back into the stored pieces and pull up a floor piece, like that. And we got one piece in, but I can already tell that it's at an angle that if I continue to build, that it's going to be crooked and I will not have any room to put the rest of the walls up. So we store the pieces again. Go back to the blueprint. Oh, right. In this case I didn't. I was getting fed up with doing it. Sometimes it's just easier to maneuver the foundation by itself. So I know I have to move out even further to the right and a little bit higher. So let's drop down a few pieces, and again, I must be dropping this at too steep an angle to the left, so I have to remove it all and tip it to the right a little bit so it'll clear the edge of that roof line. So this isn't always fun. This is a challenge to me, and I really, really love to do it. It's not for everyone to build this insane type of way, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Finally, I think I found the sweet spot to place the foundation and stairs so it will align perfectly with the second story of this crazy garage build. I have it further out from the second story, I have it high enough to clear the roof line, and I should be far enough to clear the roof of the other roof. Second roof. Yes! And of course I have to get all the boards aligned correctly in the right direction because it'll drive me nuts. And there we go. We have plenty of clearance to put up the walls. So let's go down to the red brick walls. Just re-drop them because I stored them. Okay, let's take a quick look. And it looks terrible. Only because I didn't put the windows in. So it really looks like it does not blend with the area. So let's go back out into the build menu. You can click replace. Oh, right. I forgot that it was, I needed room for a staircase to go up to the 3rd level. So I had to remove a couple of the walls and the doorway and take the time to fall off and add another set of stairs. That's right. There we go. Lots of clearance there. I think I did go back at some point and switch out the walls to walls with windows. But let's just add the flooring up here. And sometimes it can just be a pain. It's lighting green, I'm pushing A, and it's just vanishing. So just bear with me while I sort through this build process. And when it all starts to get frustrating, just jump into the structure, place the floors that way. It was a lot quicker. Sometimes you just have to try your build a completely different way. And everything lined up perfectly up here, so I could build the living space all the way to the 3rd spot. And if you've included that house in the back, you can build just a little walkway between them and then just jump over. It wouldn't let me put that last piece, but it should be fine to run across there and jump. And I can fiddle around with the rebuild later. And that pretty much wraps the build up at the Wilson Brothers Auto Repair. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos and finding new and interesting places to build. Now I have to go and switch out those walls to walls with windows. It doesn't look as nice as the original, but it will do. Again, thanks for watching, and see you out in the world.